Measure the surface of the machine in real time. It has dropped below -20 degrees. This is a bit too much, isn't it? It has been several years since the first generation of foldable screen mobile phones came out. What are the concerns that influence people's choice of foldable screens? Rather heavy? Worried about its durability? Think the configuration is not sufficient? The battery life is not so good? Or its software ecosystem? This video, let's combine the newly released Vivo X Fold5. Take a look at the large foldable screen. Models in 2025. Can one transform into someone in everyone's heart? Foldable screens for solving the above problems. Special reminder is needed. If you are an iPhone user, you mustn't miss this program. Hello, I'm Nayan. Welcome to our program. Let's start quickly. The first impression that the X Fold5 gives is that it has a very good texture. First, this titanium color option. The fiberglass backplate is very stable and elegant. There is also a frosted glass material with a green pine color. This is more lively and sophisticated. The lens module design is square on the outside and round on the inside. This is on par with its own flagship model. Detailed processing of the silver ring here on the lens circle. Hold the entire machine in your hand. The first impression is that it is extremely thin and light dot in the closed state. Let's directly compare with international competitors. Experience the straight screen models and the direct-to-screen models. Take a look at the difference in thickness. If we expand the large screen, the entire machine will be even thinner. If it's not intuitive, let's directly find to coins. The thickness can be said to be immediately obvious. Metal frame with bright surface. The sliding keys have been upgraded to quick tap keys. It can be set to click or long press. Even the animation is very similar to a certain manufacturer next door. You iPhone user, don't laugh. Let's talk in detail later. Weight part. I tested it and found that it comes with a built-in film from the factory. The whole machine weighs 220 grams, including the SIM card slot. If it is made of glass backplate material, the weight of the green pine and clear is 226 grams. We found the first generation Vivo X Fold that was released 3 years ago, including the iPhone you are familiar with for comparison. Compare it with the first generation Vivo foldable screen. It has decreased by nearly 100 grams. The heaviness of previous foldable screen models has completely disappeared on the Vivo X Fold5. It's true that times have changed, and under such a thin and light body, the battery not decreased but increased to 6,000 mAh. It's also among these large foldable screens in my hand, the battery with the largest capacity. It is obvious that the foldable screen is waterproof. It can be said to be very difficult to do. Can waterproofing be done well? This is closely related to the tightness of the rotating shaft. No more nonsense. Let's get straight to the talent show. Put the X Fold5 in the fish tank for a 30-minute bath. It can still be used normally when the time is up. Then let's increase the intensity. Perform the folding operations of unfolding and closing underwater. There was still no problem with this machine after a full 100 times. This is currently the only one in the industry that is at IP8, on the basis of IP9 grade water resistance. The water resistance level of X9 Plus was achieved for the first time. It is quite difficult to be a foldable screen dot in addition to being waterproof. The X Fold5 also supports dustproof at IP5X level. It is also very practical, of course. It should be noted that dustproof is not scratch-proof. So, when we use it, don't let hard objects being caught in the middle of the screen will scratch the screen. The sales volume of foldable screen models in northern regions is still quite considerable. At this point, another issue will come into play: the durability of foldable screens in low-temperature environments. It is certain that the temperature is limited at present, so we could only simply simulate a low-temperature environment. Here's a simple reference for everyone. First, let's freeze it directly for 1 hour, and place the inner screen completely on top of the refrigeration plate. You can see an ordinary thermometer. It has completely distorted the screen. We have been frozen for an hour. Open and close the machine to observe the screen and the hinge part. I strongly remind you that this is a dangerous operation. Minors should not imitate. There is no problem with folding and opening. Let's keep it frozen for another hour. The current measured surface of the machine has already dropped below -20 degrees. At this moment, I suddenly wanted to use my mobile phone. Let's open and close the screen repeatedly. It can be seen that the machine is still intact. This is a bit too much, isn't it? Another point is the Blue Ocean battery. It also has obvious advantages at low temperatures. 100% battery power. After we endured 2 hours of low temperature torture, basically, there is no loss of power. Simply speaking, even in the northern region, even go further north. There won't be too much worry about daily use in winter either. However, personally, I still suggest that everyone in extremely cold regions, it's better for us to use the outer screen. After all, the inner screen is still relatively fragile. Look at the screen. The outer screen of Vivo X Fold5 is 6.53. The resolution reaches 27 for 81172. A 120 Hz refresh rate. Pixel density of 457 ppi. When unfolded, the inner screen is 8.03 inches in size. A resolution of 2480 x 200. It is also a 120 Hz refresh rate. The large foldable screen is where the advantage lies. It is also the place that many people value the most. Let's compare the exact size. First, let's bring what everyone is familiar with: iPad mini 7 small size tablet. The size of 8.3 inches is very intuitive if you don't have an iPad. Let's take another A for paper and fold it in half for comparison. This one is more intuitive. It should be said that whether it is closure or expansion, it is very comfortable to hold with one hand. Let's test the brightness of the screen quality. Full screen display. Wide outer screen. Manual maximum 854. The strong light irradiation excitation reaches 1847. The manual maximum for the inner screen is 842. It was 1850 under the strong light. The brightness consistency between the inner and outer screens is quite good, and the measured data of brightness among the foldable screen categories we have tested also belongs to the excellent level. The advantage of a large screen is, of course, to display more information. The current software adaptation status of the foldable screen and basically is mainly a left-right split screen. For example, social software quickly select a contact on the left and send a message on the right. The commonly used office software follows the same logic. Select products on the left and view details on the right. These are all efficient operations. The advantage of X Fold5 lies in the processing of applications on the same screen. Just click the control bar in the upper left corner or slide from the lower right corner to the middle of the screen. Then the atomic workbench mode can be initiated. At this time, the main application is a large window. On the left is the reduced atomic window. Just click on these small windows on the left, then you can switch applications easily. It can be said to be both intuitive and convenient. Of course, it can still be done through the docking station below. Quickly switch, including replacing and displaying these programs. The function of the small window is that it can be fixed on the screen. It can prevent being squeezed out by newly opened apps. The idea is very good and practical. For example, we take the photos in the photo album, quickly drag it to the social software and send. There is no need to jump back and forth, eliminating the trouble of switching. Web page, text, and images all can be directly dragged to the notes, or it can be edited in WPS. It can also be sent to others. The dragged content can also be automatically recognized by the system. For example, the text contains the date and address. Drag it directly to the top. The system will automatically pop up the app for the schedule or map. It can also automatically recognize shopping links. Directly pop up the corresponding shopping software for redirection. These small functions are available for Android users. Might you think it's nothing? However, Apple users, I wonder what thoughts will come to your mind after reading this. It doesn't matter. It's for Apple users. This update of X Fold5 is also very significant. If you are an Apple computer user, then you can directly use Vivo's Office Suite. Turn the X Fold5 into the second screen of your Apple computer. Not only the image extension is fine, here comes the key point: Mac computers. It is equipped with the operation of the finger touch expansion screen that even the iPad has not achieved. X Fold5 can be easily achieved. Now we are on the mobile phone. It can be done in the form of a touchscreen. Operate the Mac interface. Meanwhile, the atomic workbench can still be used on the mobile phone. Mobile phone applications, including computer applications, can be switched at any time. After you turn off the extended screen keyboard and mouse for Mac, then one can directly shuttle between the mobile phone and the computer. It's a case of one dragging two, right? Others include the Mac computer and can answer calls from X Fold5 and quickly fill in the verification code. Check the notification messages on your mobile phone. Even on the Mac side, you can use a small blue heart V. All of these have been achieved perfectly. Who says we at Apple don't have AI? Extended screen keyboard and mouse synchronization, file mutual transmission, and information synchronization. These are for people who work lightly. They are indeed very friendly. It can significantly enhance your office efficiency. This is not enough for file management on the computer side. If the operation could be viewed on the mobile phone, yes. In the local file management of X Fold5, you can directly manage files on Mac and Apple computers. And it is possible to transfer files to each other. Compared with the previous remote control PC, now you're directly in your phone's file manager, operating the files on the computer end. This is obviously more intuitive and quick. These are not enough. The files in a cloud, well known to Apple users, can also be directly accessed in the local file manager. Quickly view and manage them over the network. Now, something even more explosive. First, a small question for Apple users. How many of you kept using iPhones just because of the Apple Watch? So, when changing phones, you'd still pick an iPhone. If you love the Apple Watch but are using an Android phone, then your Apple Watch becomes completely useless. Even the Apple Watch Ultra, its price is $6,199, which is more expensive than some Android phones, and even Apple's own iPads. It was only last year that Apple supported viewing health data on the watch. This year, vivo supports connecting the Apple Watch. Yes, it's currently compatible. To connect the Apple Watch, just download Vivo Health Connect on your watch, scan with your phone, and it will bind directly. Workout data, health data, sleep tracking, all viewable directly on the X Fold5. Perfect pairing with Apple, and it works both ways. Calls, messages, and notifications on your Vivo phone can all be checked directly on the Apple Watch. In conclusion, for Apple Watch users or even Android users, this is a historic and magical moment. Besides watches, there are also AirPods. They work on the Vivo X Fold5 too. Pop-up animations, battery level display, spatial audio, device search, all are fully compatible. Though, native single-ear search and offline search are not supported just yet. But don't worry, support is likely just a matter of time. As for features like transferring iPhone calls to Vivo, pasting SMS verification codes, or checking iPhone notifications directly on Vivo, all are supported. File transfer between devices, also supported. You can even turn Vivo into an iPhone hotspot with one click. Just tap on iPhone, and it connects instantly. iOS users switching to Android are rejoicing. No, actually, dual device users are even more excited. Now you can switch between both phones seamlessly and painlessly. Now let's talk about imaging. The X Fold5 has a triple rear camera setup, each with 50MP resolution. The highlight is the 3x periscope telephoto lens, equivalent to 70mm. It uses the IMX88 sensor with a large 1/2 sensor size, f2.55 aperture. Supports 20x telephoto macro and up to 100x digital zoom. Looking at sample photos, you get options like black and white, textured, vivid, and natural tones. Each style has a noticeably different feel, perfect for quick snaps and main camera comparisons. X Fold5 shows clean transitions between light and shadow, with impressive dynamic range and detail retention. Zooming in, you'll find sharp colors and standout clarity. Telephoto comparisons at 10x zoom. Vivo provides the better visual experience. Details and oil paintings are clearer. Switching scenes. Vivo maintains a cleaner, richer image even against competitors' 5x native lenses. In portraits, 50mm and 85mm focal lengths deliver clear, expressive results. Use the negative film mode for a cinematic look, or pair it with live photo to enhance the atmosphere. Lastly, the ultra-wide-angle lens also performs well. Tell us in the comments which one you like better for performance. The On-to-2 benchmark score is over 2.2 million. Geekbench 6 shows 2,307 single-core and 7,125 multi-core. Clearly, this foldable focuses on lightness and software, not hardcore gaming. So, in our simple gaming test, Honor of Kings on the inner screen, 30-minute average frame rate, 119.8 FPS. Body temperature, around 40 C. Power consumption, just 3. A West, very low. Heavier games like Genshin Impact. Due to the ultra-thin body, expect frame locks at 30 FPS. This isn't a gaming-first device. Making foldables thin and light is tough, especially because of the battery. This year, the 10 Fold5 packs a 6,000 mAh Blue Ocean battery among all foldables. Tested, this is the largest capacity. It supports 80 West wired and 40 West wireless charging, including reverse charging. Everything is balanced, nothing left out. Battery life test shows 64% remaining in standard use, using only the large inner screen. Still 55% left. This puts it ahead in foldable entrants, even rivaling some non-folding flagships. Charging? The box includes a 90 West charger. We tested 1% to 100% in 42 minutes, and full trickle charge in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Peak charging power hits 6 for W. In summary, the Vivo X Fold5 is lighter and stronger. It breaks the stereotype of foldables being heavy, fragile, poor in battery life, and bad at software. It brings surprising improvements. Blue Factory's system strengths shine in X Fold5, especially for light office use. And if you're an iPhone or Mac user, this might just be the large screen partner you've been waiting for. For example, this Vivo X Fold5